Hey everyone, it's Zishan here. The highly anticipated numbers for the GTA real estate market have been released for May 2020, and I've got them for you in this edition of the Market Minute. In this video, we're going to do a year-over-year comparison for sales, listings, months of inventory, and price across the GTA, Toronto, and York region. Let's jump right into these numbers. We've seen a decline in sales year over year, and it's expected because the shelter-in-place orders from the government are still in place. So in the GTA, we saw about a 54% decline in sales. We went from about just under 10,000 sales in May 2019 to 4,600 sales in May 2020. In Toronto, we saw a decrease of about 60% in sales. We went from 3,700 to 1,500 sales. And in York region, we went from 1,500 sales to just under 700 sales, which is a decrease of about 55%. Here's the interesting thing. When we look at the sales month over month, when we look from April to May, we see that we saw a 50% increase in sales across the GTA. We saw a 43% increase in sales in Toronto and almost a 60% increase in sales in York region. And then what that tells us is that the buyers are back out there. They're starting, sales are picking up, they're going in the right direction. I think it's attributed to the fact that one, people are getting a little tired of staying at home. Two, the weather is getting better. And three, the interest rates are so incredibly low that people are taking advantage and using this as an opportunity to get into their first home or trade up into their next home. The number of listings across the GTA dropped about 43% year over year. We went from 20,000 listings to about 11,500. In Toronto, we saw a 33.6% drop in listings. We went from about 6,000 to about 4,000 year over year. And in York region, we saw a 51% decrease in the number of listings. We went from about 5,100 listings in May 2019 to about 2,500 listings in May 2020. Months of inventory, if you've been following these videos, you know that we've got about 5 months of inventory, sort of a balanced market. Anything under 5 months of inventory is considered a seller's market, and anything over 5 months of inventory is considered a buyer's market. We can see that in May 2020, we had 2.5 months of inventory in the GTA, so tighter market conditions. In Toronto, we saw 2.7 months of inventory, and in York region, we saw 3.6 months of inventory. And what we want to do, or what I want to do, is kind of look at last month, and we can see that months of inventory has dropped across the board. GTA had 3.35 months of inventory in April 2020. In Toronto, last month, we had 3.35 months of inventory, and in York region, we had 5.2 months of inventory. So across the board, our inventory, or our months of inventory, has tightened up, which means sales have gone up, listings have come down, and we can see that everything is kind of just a little bit, we've kind of tightened up. Price. Year over year, we can see that the GTA had a 3.3% increase in price. We went from about 838,000 to about 863,000, and that's a respectable gain given everything that's happening. In Toronto, we saw a 2% increase in price year over year. We went from 937,000 to about 955,000, and in York region, we saw a price increase of about 9%. We went from 929,000 to just over $1 million. When we talk about price in this context, you do have to take it with a grain of salt, given the fact that our sales have dropped, 50, 60%. The pricing that you see may not be a true reflection of what's going on in the market, again, because the composition of the sales may be varied or they may be skewed, which might throw the numbers off. And what I mean by that is, higher end homes may not be selling right now, which will pull down averages. So take the price numbers with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, you can see that the market is relatively stable year over year, which is a good sign for us given everything that's happening. As always, I hope that you have found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. You can DM me, leave a comment, or call me at 416-450-3163. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Have a wonderful day.